Well, here's where we're at today. Today is Sunday, October 27th. We got done with corn on silage on Friday. And yesterday we worked on just getting things set up and ready to go with silage trucks. And now we need to put the sound loader up. Chopper did good to get through the season without any major problems. We'll go ahead and show you this blower housing here quickly. That got through the season with some welding that had to get done to it. We welded on it, I don't know, 5-6 times. And there is no, well, I shouldn't say that. There's a crack right there. And another one there, possibly. But at any rate, we were able to get through the season with it, and we've got a new one right outside. So, we're gonna run up now, and we are going to put the sound loader up. We're gonna put this away somewhere, not let it get wet at all, and then it'll be a little easier to wash with that dusty stuff. Will come right off of it. And once we get the sound loader put up, we've got a fuel tank that's cracked on this excavator. But this is that new housing right here for the chopper that we'll put in. Probably won't get to it until the snow flies, but that was $6 grand. So we better get right after it here with getting that sound loader put up. We lack a pail and some gear oil. All right, so we are up here to the silo. They're gonna get the blade off that tractor. Nate will have to get that done, or get up here after he gets that done. But before we get to really doing anything to this unloader, we're gonna go ahead and blow it off, and then we've got to run the unloader around to about right here on that part of the unloader, which is where the auger is, over to this point. We need to pull the gooseneck off and get the distributor spout on there that's on that other side. So we'll go ahead and get started. Looks like the unloader's relatively clean compared to it running for a year. So let's go ahead and blow it off. So, the unloader, all right, we have the unloader, all the material blown off of it, all the dusty stuff off of it. What we need to do now is we need to run the unloader around that part of the unloader there. I like to have that right next to the door. Reason being, we'll take that spout that the clean chute hooks to, we'll set that down on the unloader, and then when we raise the unloader, that'll end up to the top. I can grab it, pull it in the spout. Now, there's 2 motors on this unloader. Actually, there's 3, but we're gonna talk about 2 of them right now. We've got the large motor here that runs the blower and it runs the auger. Then there's another motor on that ring drive over there. There's a gearbox on there with a cog wheel, and it runs in that ring where it has the holes, and that's what makes the unloader go around the silo. So what we'll be able to do here is we can take this breaker for this large motor, and we can turn the blower motor off. Which one is it? 15. This one should be 60. We'll turn that one there off. We don't need the large motor to run until we empty the silo out. So what we can do is we've got a little switch box here that we can turn the unloader on with. That's right here. And what that's going to do is it's going to run just this ring drive motor. You can see it going around the silo. And then what we can do while that's running is we can grease it. And then the other thing that we have to remember to do, we have to remember to throw some straw down in here. You can see that there is some straw in here now. And the reason why we'll do that is once we see straw in the corn, the feed, when we're emptying this out next year, we'll know that we are to the bottom. That way we won't have to guess and whatever like that, because you can see that this material we've quit feeding out of here. This was empty about 3 weeks ago, and this is still white. So we don't want to get down into the floor of this silo because there's not concrete there. There's gravel, and we don't want to pull any stones up through that blower. If there was concrete, that would probably be worse because you'd be running your augers against the floor of the silo. So that's got to run around here a little bit further. We're going to service everything up. We've got to pull that gooseneck down. We'll set that on the unloader and then tie it all down. We'll take that distributor spout, set that in the unloader, and pull this sucker to the top. Oh, I might move my light. Oh no, over here. This should be out of the way enough. We've got to put oil in gearboxes as well and just kind of look this all over. Now, last year we had a new blower housing. Well, we put the blower housing on it, and then Center State came and they put a new collector ring on there. The collector ring, that was wore out, and it was allowing the corn to get up into the grease, and then the corn would get rock hard. The dust would get rock hard. It wouldn't allow us to grease it, and then it would seize it up, and we bent a blower housing on this here last year, about halfway through getting it empty. So let's go ahead and get to work here. Well, all right. I think we've got everything all set on this unloader, and we are ready to pull it to the top. We've got it greased. We've got the gearboxes full of oil. I think I've got all the grease zerks. You guys will have to correct me if I'm wrong. Seems like there's 2 everywhere. There's 2 on the blower, 2 on the ring drive, 2 on the bearings for those spinners. We took that cover off, greased the one on this side. We got 2 on the ring drive. Did I say that? And I think that's it. Seems like everything is in pairs here. The collector ring, there's a couple on that. So 2 there, 2 down there, 2 up here, 2 over there. Is that all of them? Or am I forgetting one? We've got oil in these gearboxes too. We had to top off both of them, the gearbox for the ring drive, and we had to put some oil in the gearbox for the blower and the auger. Now, I ended up covering up the 10 horse motor that's on this unloader too. It just keeps the corn dust out of it and the bird crap and whatever else like that out of there. And we've got our switch set, so that motor is off and the ring drive motor is on. We've got our chute on there. There's a motor that spins that spinner. We drop the cord down through the back side of that shroud, and then it plugs into a little dongle that comes out of that panel there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get the unloader, we're going to get the power winch going, and we're going to send the unloader to the top. I'll have to climb up the inside of the chute, and I'll have to get it adjusted to the height that we want to put it at, and then I'll pull this black shroud that is meant for the clean chute. I'll pull that inside the chute, hook our chain for that one cable so that the unloader's got something to work against, and then plug the cord in. Nate will come up here, and what he's going to do is we're going to drop down a long rope, and what he's going to do is hook that to the cord, and then I can be pulling that up through, and then he can feed it from the bottom. So we'll get the winch going and we'll get climbing. I ended up putting some straw down too. I only put down a little bit. Once this shows up in the feed, we'll know we are to the bottom, and then we won't have to guess it by thinking that or looking for stones or gravel. All right, let's get climbing. So in the last video we were putting this unloader up, and I don't know if I had anybody say whether or not that there is another grease zerk that I missed, and that is on the end. I did grease it. I greased it before I even started the video, and that is right here. So sometimes I just have to make sure everybody is on their toes. Well, we've got this set up to the silo and we've got it all greased. However, this pulley right here has a bearing gone out of it. So we have to loosen up the belts and get that tore apart and see if we've got bearings for that. I don't think we do, but we might. So there's a belt tensioner with a threaded rod right here. We'll get that up, loosened up, and get that big pulley off of there. Well, we got this apart, and this bearing wasn't gone all that long. In other words, it had just happened. This inner one is okay. However, I don't recall whether or not we have one. So we'll go ahead and run this down to the shop. It didn't get into the bolt at all, which is a good thing. So we'll go ahead and see if we can find something. So we've got this pulley over here on the bench, and we'll have to wait till Monday to order a bearing assembly for that. I thought sure we had one kicking around, but we must have used it, or I just can't find it. So we've got this excavator in here up on top of this fuel tank. It's got a crack in it. This metal pad is welded on there. I don't know if this plate is just threaded for this handle, but this is mucho crack from about here around to about there. So we're going to take the grinder and just peel that back some, try to burn some of that fuel out of there, and then we'll just weld it from here to there. So, better go ahead and take our cap off. And I don't know how much fuel's in it. It'd be nice if it wasn't full, because if that fuel is up to that, well, the fuel is about right here. So, we'll have to go ahead and get that. Might be asking what's going on with all this noise out here. Sarah's washing her silage truck off. Alex washed hers yesterday. And Sarah's getting this one cleaned up. This one needs a paint job. All the paint fell off the silage box. And the tires need changed already. We got the 11R 24 5s on it. So this will look a little better. Minus it needing the paint, but maybe we'll sandblast that this year. I don't know what these are off of, but I don't know. Well, we'll go ahead and get some welding done here. that is that. We'll get our covers back on and roll this out the door. Very easy, very easy. Well, we're gonna go ahead and roll this out the door, and that is gonna do it for this video. That'll keep the water out and the fuel in. So we're getting a little water in that fuel tank, so that will take care of that. So with that being said, folks, that is gonna do it for this video. I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll catch you at the next one.